Welcome to Mr. Beefy's Boxing, or just Beefy's Boxing, where we cover all kinds of boxing news and boxing subjects, where we have the meats by the pounds and covers the fights by the rounds. Before we jump into the video, be sure to like and subscribe so we can get the channel out to as many as possible. Now, on to today's topic. So, Dana White is just rage baiting everybody or teasing a possible giant move. We'll see. Dana White says everybody will end up at zuffaboxing. When asked about linking Shakur to Zuffa, Dana said possibly. He says, listen, I think that everybody's going to be here at zuffaboxing eventually. White also mentioned, speaking on Sunday's event, the Zuffa card, when the best fight the best, that's what everybody wants to see. A great card top to bottom with lots of up and coming prospects. Lots of undefeated guys fighting undefeated guys. And I'm going to go ahead and say it that I hope I'm wrong, but I just don't see Zuffa doing any good for boxing. And I love the sport, so it sucks to have to think about the possibility of it getting ruined over something like money. And money has always been a problem in the sport. There's no denying it. And people are going to say as long as the fighters are happy, then that's all that matters. But we gotta do some thinking for them, because fighters are stubborn and hard-headed. Hell, they'll keep going unless their team actually throws in the towel or the referee stops. So of course, they see big bucks, they're gonna run towards it. But you got to think of long terms, and you got to think about your future, like your legacy and all that. Of course, Ngannou says, fuck legacy, because you got to worry about feeding your family and kids, which is true. And that's going to lead into the problem with Zuffa. If you give me $10,000 and I'm happy with it, and then you go and use me to make millions and millions and millions of dollars, then I feel like I should get a little chunk of that, because you're using me still, even after the fight. And that's what these fighters, they're not going to get. You can look at them almost like utilities or like bills in a way. You fight, you buy this fighter, and the fighter is going to require maintenance and tune-ups and all that. And that's where the little extra money comes in, more bonuses and stuff like that. If you give somebody just a flat rate and then never go back to them, once that flat rate is used up or something happens, then those fighters are going to be fucked. Say, like, if you buy a computer, when you buy the computer, what are you doing with the computer? You're also paying for the internet. You're paying to upkeep it and stuff like that. It's not just a one-time purchase and then you'll never have to worry about sinking money into it again. That's probably a horrible example, but that's just the one coming to the top of my head because I'm looking at my screen. You know what? Hell, a race car might be a better example, because you buy a car and you want to use it to make money, but you got to sink money into it to use it to make money. Y'all get what I'm saying? I just want the fighters to be able to make as much money as they can and not a flat rate, especially since they're the ones that go in the ring. They're the ones that can lose their life in this sport, and Dana is just going to sit there and profit off of them, give them 1/5 of what they're actually worth while he just runs off with the rest of it. I think it's dirty, and I think fighters will find out. If everything was so great, UFC fighters would be rushing over here to say something. But not one UFC fighter is like, yeah, this is a great idea, great move. Hell, Ronda Rousey, I think it was, during the Carano press, even shitted on Dana. But these are just my thoughts on it. What are yours below? Well, that was the final bell. The video is coming to an end. Before we end the video, I gotta say one more time, thank you so much for watching. Remember, everybody, it's all about attitude. There is no progress without struggle, so stay in there. I've been your host, Mr. Beefy, and you all have been fantastic.
It's Mr. Beefy. Turn on after Beefy.